So what you're about to see is Vladimir Solovyov at his nuttiest. He's going to be threatening future peacekeepers with, well, the wrath of Russia. Now, remember, everything that you see in Russian state media is for effect. It's all scripted. Every time I return to Moscow, my first impression is one of an amazing discrepancy between two worlds. The guys and I were just in Donbass. More HIMARS have been delivered. Strikes are coming. Nothing foreshadows the new year, Christmas, or the holidays. You come to a big city and life is different here. There are holidays and sales. People worry about inflation and rising prices. These two worlds can't meet one another. Well, it's interesting that inflation and rising prices is part of the holidays and sales. Usually you wouldn't want those two together, but that's the reality in Russia. These two worlds can't meet one another. Maybe it's supposed to be this way. Maybe this is how it was during the Great Patriotic War. I don't know. So there are two absolutely different worlds. Well, the question is, where did that second world come from? Because you created it when you invaded. And I'm not even talking about 2022. I'm talking about in 2014. It didn't have to be this way. In one reality, everyone says we need peace. There can be no other way. Peace is vital. On the other hand, you look and ask, who needs peace? The U.S. presidential administration is pumping weapons into Ukraine. It's like the last day of Pompeii. They're sending everything they have to the max. Well, no, they're not. This is part of the problem. They're not sending everything that they have to the max. If they were, this would be a very different outcome. At the same time, they're testing hypersonic missiles. Wait a minute. It's, again, this weird mirroring effect. What you're doing, you're claiming the other side is doing. They're getting ready for war. They only have a few days left. Still, they're sending it all straight into a furnace. It's not an accident that many on the internet say that Ukraine's Christmas offensive is on the horizon. Well, if there is a Christmas offensive, it's on the horizon because it's almost Christmas. So there's nothing really surprising about that if it's a Christmas offensive. I wouldn't want the cursed tragedy to be repeated. We should be watching for it in advance. That's why we have to be on guard. This is an incredibly tense situation with no understanding as to where everything is going. Now he's going to turn a weird corner here. Just watch for what he has to say. Trump says it's stupid. It shouldn't be done. Why do it? He says it about the long-range strikes. Biden says the opposite. Let's escalate. Biden doesn't say let's escalate. Biden has had an allergic reaction to the idea of escalating. At the same time, in all seriousness, you discuss how you'll bring in European troops, not as NATO, so that NATO is not responsible, but each country separately? I should quote 19th century classics to you, translated into modern literary language, uttered by the descendant of a great literary tradition, State Duma Deputy Petr Tolstoy. And this is where it really gets crazy. We will kill all of you. This war is not 2 or 3 years old. This war has been going on for centuries. The war of Europe against Russia. Oi. He said it. Oi. It's the war of Russia attacking its neighbor, not the war of Europe attacking Russia. You don't understand anything, he concludes. Wow. Well, tell me what you think. This is what they're putting out for state media consumption, and this is what regular Russians are watching on TV. Now, they're doing that for a reason. Why do you suppose they're saying that? All right, my friends, that's all that I have. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. Thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.